at it again. I'm here to do Danganronpa. Happy Havoc. So I'll be doing the second game, but that's still will be a while. Right now, where I last left off, you're at the first class trial. And with the last trial, I have to make sure to determine who's the guilty party, basically. I basically have to determine who's guilty and clear my name, because right now Makoto's being framed for murder on accident, like, or for a purpose. I don't know. We'll learn about it once we get into it. Okay, just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked.
With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka wasn't caught by surprise in the bathroom?
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon.
Wow, this is starting to sound like a real trial.
We need to determine what was used to kill Sayaka. It's obvious. There was a kitchen knife set in the kitchen, like, so it was a kitchen knife.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife they had on him. How could anyone do something like that? That son of a bitch!
Shit. I missed.
So what was used to kill her?
There was some kind of sharp object thrust into her stomach. Without a doubt, that is the murder weapon!
So the killer used some random knife that...
No, that's wrong!
No, it wasn't a random knife.
No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach.
Oh, shit. Oh, my control fell. Hold on, guys. I need to take a break for a moment. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Sorry.
And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Well, obviously, because of the handle.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime.
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we've presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not going to change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
She's right. There's gotta be a breakthrough somewhere, just waiting for us to find it. because I know damn well I'm not the killer. There's a bit more to learn about non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Yes, that way in case if anyone else wants to learn. You can concentrate by holding down the R1 button, which I've already learned. Okay. While you're concentrating, time will slow down, so pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. On top of that, it will stay your aim, make it easier to target potential weak spots. Okay. Concentrating like this consumes focus gauge. If the gauge empties, you can't concentrate, but the focus gauge will recover over time, so let your brain take a rest, no need to rush. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay. That's Hina's account. Okay.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon. But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen, right? He did it in secret. When no,
that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier?
Well, I went to go get some tea from the kitchen last night, and all the knives were still there. But when I finished my tea and went back into the kitchen, washed my glass, well, the knives have been gone. So you're saying the knife disappeared while you were drinking your tea in the dining hall? Yeah.
Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while...
Yeah.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. But I wasn't there the entire time. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
Idiot swimmer girl? Oh, and more importantly, why would I get involved in something like that?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So there is an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing gets to graduate. So what happens if there's two killers? Do they both get to graduate?
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about...
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife, so I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then, who did take the knife?
Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining.
No way! I swear it wasn't...
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that?
I can.
That's right! Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means, we have airtight alibis.
You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school?
We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
Don't... Taka, you're going to get your ass beat by a freaking giant-ass woman who's buff like a dude.
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility is there?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
Oh, yeah, that's true. One other person did come to the dining hall while we were...
Why didn't you say so in the first place?
Well, because... they're not here anymore.
Someone who's not here, are you talking about...
Sayaka. She's the one who came to the dining hall. And then later, she wound up dead.
Sayaka? Monokuma! Hina! Okay, so the person who took the knife from the kitchen...
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look at us. She just went straight to the kitchen. As she left, she said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself!
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
Oh, great. Still the blame is...
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No! You're wrong!
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
What? Damn, if I don't do something, they're gonna blame me for the murder. Don't they understand? They convinced me everyone's
Hold
gonna
on.
die.
It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that little mystery, you simply can't declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about.
Your first Hangman's Gambit is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Oh, this is the mini game. There's going to be mini games, by the way, in this. As Fiend's advanced further in cholesterol, Hangman Gambits will eventually take place. The part to reveal the most important phrase really to... letters. You have to basically click the letters to get the answer you want. You need to spell out a word in order, basically. You'll suffer damage if you fail. Good luck. Something that should have been at the scene but wasn't. That must be the crucial point. If we can figure out what that something is. What? I clicked.
Now I understand.
Wait, did anybody else see that? I clicked A.
That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
That was bullshit. I got damaged by. That was totally A. Fuck. Okay, whatever. Okay. That's right, there was a single hair on the floor.
So,
okay.
The culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Ha ha ha! Yes, very true, very true!
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the...
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever...
Wait, then that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
I would like to hear these reasons.
Do you remember
me too.
anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with...
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
Yep, I remember. The killer struggled to get into the bathroom, and evidence that proves it is the object the killer broke. The doorknob. Yes.
I got it! Evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the... This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then, let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
Kyoko said it was a bewildering act. I almost didn't notice it at first, but is that the key point? More! From here on, the number of weak spots will start to grow up. No matter how many weak spots, essentially a lie to protection. What I'm trying to say is that not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use a truth bullet on the 1-1. And not only will you fail to repeat what you say, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone and influence gauge will take damage. Now this is important because if your influence gauge reaches 0, you fail. You have to use your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or contradictions. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay.
The incident took place in Makoto's room.
Let's just see what happens.
Sayaka was first attacked in the main room. She then fled into the bathroom.
Then the killer ran after her. And they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door. Because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally, the culprit had Sayaka cornered.
And to finish the job, they stabbed her with the kitchen knife.
It was you, wasn't it, Makoto? Admit it. We already know the answer.
The incident
Hold on, can I fast forward through this?
took place in
Makoto's Sayaka was first, she then fled into the...
Then the killer ran, and they got into the bath.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down because Sayaka had locked it.
No, that's wrong.
Yep, that's wrong. It wasn't locked. You get stuck.
The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, the girls' rooms are the only ones with locking bathrooms, right?
Yes, now that you mention it, that is true.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame quite right. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have... that's not lucky at all!
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake. thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so they didn't know the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime is that they didn't know was the crime took in Sayaka's. They didn't know if it was my room.
I got it!
Okay.
The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable!
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom. If Sayaka had been in her own room, then
there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force or simply by accident. But the killer must have been considerably confused, with no idea how they actually got the door open.
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked.
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well then, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh! As a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
That's true.
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
Probably, but assuming when she got the knife. Because I don't know when she got the knife. Was it during the day or night?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Yeah, plus it was in her room. I don't know.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
No, the locks are unpickable.
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something in particular because how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. No way Sayaka would let somebody in because... this.
I got it!
Switching rooms.
Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I won't absolutely... Otherwise, what's the point of sleeping something like that?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Oh.
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility?
Oh boy. I knew there was something about that notebook. Damn it. There's something I want to talk to you about. Just us two. In 5 minutes, come see me in my room. Check the nameplates and make sure you don't get the room wrong, okay?
I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil, and these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes.
Sometimes. I don't think it's always useful. Like, it doesn't always work.
Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't. But
of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
Oh boy, sorry Makoto. And that note. Sayaka wrote it?
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door to let them know she wanted to meet with them in secret.
If you got an invitation like that from the ultimate pop sensation, what young man could resist?
Of course, I'm only into 2D, so it wouldn't have any effect on me.
But can we be sure anyone even got this note? And honestly, even if they did, I do not think they are at all involved in what happened.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Would you like to hear what I have to say? Very well then. Pay attention.
Okay, what is it? Dorm nameplate.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were asked to come to, it specifically says, my room.
I see. So if someone read that, then they would have gone to some...
Exactly. The room that Makoto was staying. So in other words, even if someone did read the note and did what it said, they would not have any connection to what happened.
It certainly would seem that way.
Okay. Claire went to my room instead of Sayaka's, and the reason for that is because what got switched between mine and Sayaka's rooms. Okay.
Sayaka and Makoto, but in the note, it specifically says, I see. Then they would have gone...
Exactly. The room that...
No.
No, that's wrong.
Because the nameplates got switched, baby. Yeah.
The nameplates on my and
Detective work.
Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got... switched?
That's right. The nameplates got switched, just like the rooms themselves. As a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name.
So that could have explained why the person mistaked it for a girl's room, which is why they had to take special precautions. And why Makoto, when they thought the door was stuck, it was actually not a locked door, it was... Oh! So it had to be this guy.
And the nameplate on
Guy had
Makoto's
to
room
use
had
the
Sayaka's.
Thing, though.
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
And the only person who knew who switched was her.
Right?
Okay, then...
Sayaka.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note.
Yep, make sure to come see me in my room. Check the nameplate.
She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first...
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms. Why would anyone do that?
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What happened then was... Probably whoever she invited over came in and attacked her! We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Sayaka fought with her killer there in the room, yes? Perhaps the answer to our previous question lies in that.
Yes, I think you're right.
Then we just have to figure out what happened during the fight.
That reminds me. There was a replica sword at the murder scene. Was that perhaps used during the fight?
Oh yeah. What's the deal with that sword?
Sayaka suggested I should hold on to it. I thought it might come in handy if I had to defend myself. It seems pretty likely that the killer used it to break Sayaka's right wrist.
How the hell could you possibly know that's what broke her wrist?
The reason I know Sayaka's wrist was broken with the fake sword is because when you look at her wrist, there's no doubt.
I got it!
Because of the glow.
All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear.
The gold leaves.
Right there where her wrist is all swollen. There's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. Specifically, the gold coating from the replica sword. You barely have to touch that stuff, and it'll stick right to you. And there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword! Right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
Alright, then it's about time to solve this mystery.
What happened in my room was what led Sayaka's death. That's what we need to make clear. Non-stop debates. Would you like to hear more? Are you getting used to it? Sign the next. We'll start loading multiple truth bullets into your truth cylinder. So now I gotta pick the right bullet. One of those bullets can actually refute the proper statement. In other words, from here on out, you have to combine the right truth bullets with the right weak spots to refute each statement. If you come up with the wrong combination, you'll take damage. Press the L1 to rotate the cylinder and choose which bullet to fire. Press and release L1 to cycle through each bullet, or you can hold down the L1 button and then use the left stick to... Okay. Fewer bullets will be loaded into your cylinder. Okay. For our purposes, this time logic difficulty will be set to mean. Okay. Well then, good luck, have fun. Okay.
When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was dealt. A sword-based sneak attack!
And that's what broke Miss Maizono's wrist.
So she tried to fight back. She grabbed the kitchen knife she had hidden away.
But then the culprit took...
And they killed her with...
And that's exactly what happened.
I don't think
when the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first blow was a sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong.
There's scratch marks on this blade. Let's see.
Actually, no. I don't think the fight started with the sword.
Huh? Why not?
Because the sword's sheath had been scratched. See? There's a gash in it. Like someone cut into it with
something sharp. You mean like the kitchen knife? That was the only sharp thing found at the scene.
Stop jumping ahead! Slow down and explain it so I get what the hell's going...
If the sword was used first, there wouldn't be any explanation for the scratch on the sheath. If you were going to attack with the sword, you'd take it out of the sheath first, right?
That's true. With the sheath on, it'd be heavy and bulky and useless as shit.
Okay, so how did they...
If they got attacked with the kitchen knife, maybe they grabbed the sword as a defensive impulse. In that situation, there wouldn't be any time to actually unsheath the sword.
So you're saying the sword was initially used to defend against an attack from the knife?
Which means whoever had the kitchen knife was the one who attacked first.
I think I get it! So the culprit came in, found the kitchen knife hidden there somewhere. Then they took the knife and attacked Sayaka before she knew what was happening. So she grabbed the sword to defend herself. But then the culprit took that from her too. Then, after they broke her wrist with the sword, they took the knife and finished it.
Sorry, but I don't think Sayaka used the sword to defend herself.
What? How the hell can you not think that?
Because she never held the sword at all. There's a certain part of her body that makes this clear.
Because the palms of her hand were clean.
I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean. So I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palm?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has already come off the handle. It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up and come away completely clean.
Maybe she washed her hands after she escaped into the bathroom.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Is it because you think I'm ugly?
No, that's not it at all.
The only reason why is because it was nighttime, so the water was off. The water was off.
I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time, in other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh god, you stink then.
Oh my.
You're no different. You smell like a big fat ugly dog.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
An insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then the one who damaged the sheath with...
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the
person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own.
Yep. That's what you can
She
tell
took the
from
knife
scene.
from the kitchen, then invited the culprit to the room she was staying in. And if it's true that she had the kitchen knife and attacked without provocation...
Indeed. These are all the actions of an assailant.
Which brings up another point. Makoto, Sayaka was the one who suggested you two switch rooms, correct? Maybe the reason she wanted to switch rooms was so that she could pin the crime on you. That is a possibility, is it not?
Sayaka wanted to... on me?
That would also explain why she would switch the nameplates. She wanted to get whoever she had targeted to come to Makoto's room, where she was staying. And by committing the murder there, instead of her room, that would implicate Makoto. But for that to work, the target had to be lured out, while still keeping the room swap a secret. If the target knew she had switched rooms, they would have become suspicious right away.
So all that's why she switched the names?
But doesn't that plan seem a little risky? For one thing, even if her plan worked, Mr. Naegi would just tell everyone they'd switched rooms.
I don't know. I'm not sure our soft-hearted Makoto is capable of that kind of cutthroat behavior. I'm sure Sayaka realized the same thing, which is why out of all of us, she asked him to switch rooms.
Plus, she was the ultimate pop sensation. A totally forgettable kid. Or a national superstar. Who are you more likely to believe?
Wait, then you're saying she had this all planned out?
Holy shit!
But in the end, her plan backfired. She launched her attack with the knife, then found herself under attack in turn. That must be when her wrist got broken, and she was forced to drop the knife.
The tables were suddenly turned on her, and she died at the hands of the one she'd planned to murder.
Just hold on! That can't be true!
You can't... Don't try to... Makoto, you have to understand.
Because...
No, don't try to refute it.
Hey! You guys have totally derailed the argument. You're being super boring right now. Come on, hurry up and decide who did it. Wouldn't it be awful if I had to punish you all just because you ran out of time?
Oh yeah, we gotta decide who we think did it.
Makoto, right now you just need to concentrate on figuring out the answer to this mystery. If we can't uncover who murdered Sayaka, it's over for all of us.
Is it really over? Obviously, I'm committed to find out who killed her, but what can I do? I mean, as far as clues go, there's nothing left. That's not true, Makoto. Yep, dying message.
It's easy just to say, hey, decide who did it. But there just aren't any more clues, right?
Nope.
No, that's wrong. There still might be one clue left. Sayaka's dying message.
Dining? Wait, what did you say?
The dying message. She wrote something on the wall behind her, remember? 11037. Written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka...
Yep. Okay.
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But what the heck do those numbers mean?
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because they're not numbers.
Oh!
Not numbers.
Yeah, it looks like...
Huh? What? What?
No, it's just... look at the numbers, assuming they're not numbers. Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right.
Yeah,
the connecting line is barely there, so I assumed it was 1-1, but... Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa! You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N, N037, doesn't make any more sense than before.
Damn it, it's no use. I just don't know.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
Huh? Rotate it? I think maybe I see
Oh
something.
my god. Now I see. She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? You just shot past the clue part and right on to who did it.
So, whose name did she write?
Sayaka's dying message reveals the killer's name. If you turn around the message 180 degrees, oh my god, that's an L-E-O-N. It's Leon. You! Where are you? You!
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery was simply to rotate the writing 180 degrees. If you turn the message around, it becomes the letters L-E-O-N. L-E-O-N. Or more accurately, Leon.
What? What the hell are you talking about? It's just a coincidence. It's just a bunch of random squiggles that happen to look like my name.
No, it's not random at all. She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result, when you look at it standing in front of her, it ends up getting flipped. Try it for yourself if you want. Write something sitting like her, and the letters will be inverted.
That sounds like one hell of a stretch to me. I'm the killer? You can't just go and say shit like that.
If you're not the killer, then why did you try to destroy the evidence?
Huh?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The evidence Leon tried to get rid of?
Yes, I know exactly. The thing that I found in front of the incinerator.
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
What?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right! There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say for sure who it belongs to.
Yeah, but why are you getting so worked up? You're going Super Saiyan like that. That just makes you seem more guilty.
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so.
The burnt remains of the button shirt, which the killer wasn't able to get rid of. There's something about it that I need to... How it was disposed of.
I got it!
You need to see how
If we look closely at how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to figure out who the killer is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I think I know what you're gonna say. You can't reach the incinerator without opening the gate in front of the trash room, right? And obviously, you wouldn't be able to hit the switch to turn it on either. You'd need the key to get in. And the one with the key was the person on cleaning duty. So the killer had to be whoever was in charge of taking care of the trash, right?
Interesting.
No, that's wrong. There was another way to use the incinerator without being the one on clean duty. And that's exactly what proves that Leon is the real killer. You're screwed, Leon. I'm gonna screw you over.
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on cleaning duty must have had it, right?
So the only one who could get to the incinerator was the person in charge of the trash?
And you'd have to get close
to the incinerator in order...
No, that's wrong!
Nope. Sorry, Leon. You're screwed. No matter
Hold
what
on.
you do.
I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you used this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
Actually, it was supposed to be a crystal ball, but...
But how would you use it?
You threw it.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the incinerator switch and threw the ball through a gap in the gate.
Oh, they assume they can roll it and hit the switch? It's high up above the ground. Of course they had to throw it.
All they had to do was hit that switch, and the incinerator would come to life.
Someone threw a gap in the gate?
Remember what you said before, Hifumi?
Well, somebody turned on the incinerator on. Very strange. I'm quite certain last time I was down here. Off when it was last time. Perhaps it was the work of Harry.
Hifumi had the key. So the only way the incinerator could have been turned on without his knowledge was because the killer was able to hit the switch without opening the gate. Once they'd gotten the incinerator going, all they had to do was ball up the shirt and toss it in.
Hey, come on! What the hell is this?
All you have to do is look at the scene to know that the killer never actually went inside the trash room. The shards of broken glass, the incinerator left running, the piece of shirt that escaped the fire. If the killer had been on cleaning duty, the evidence would have been taken care of much more thoroughly.
That's true.
Wait, no, just hold on.
But the distance from the gate to the incinerator has to be at least 30 feet, right? The pinpoint accuracy you'd need to throw a glass ball that far and hit something that small. Could someone really do that?
That's right. There's no way. It'd be impossible.
Difficult, absolutely. Impossible? I don't think so. Because the killer is...
It wouldn't be much of a challenge because the killer is the baseball star.
I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
He's professional at throwing balls.
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge for the ultimate baseball star.
You can't be serious. I'm not the killer! These goddamn shipper brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you!
You still won't admit it? Okay then, Makoto. Go ahead and review the incident one more time to make his crime perfectly clear.
Yep.
And with that, we can end this.
Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, end this?
Say what you want, Leon. But all the questions have been answered. And the truth has been revealed. Now here's what happened.
The closing argument is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. Every case has one last element to bring to class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. In the phase, you will give a complete summary of the case. You have to reduce the flow of events in the form of a comic book. However, you will notice that in the comic there are a number of pieces missing. It's up to you to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. Also, if you take aim at a missing section and press the X, look out, you'll get a hint that might lead to a breakthrough. And then good luck, have fun. Okay, so I have to figure out what the fuck. Guessing this is it. Okay. Try to
the killer is you!
Okay.
I think I'd better take one more look back at the case from the beginning.
Yes.
Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. In other words, my room. From what we can tell, Sayaka invited that person there intending to kill them. She attacked them with the knife she'd taken from the kitchen earlier. But then something happened that she wasn't prepared for. They grabbed the fake sword I'd put in my room and fought back.
If only you had told him to bring that sword, Sayaka, your plan will come. If you would have told Makoto to not bring that sword, you would have actually gotten away with this.
During the struggle, a strike from the sword broke Sayaka's right wrist. And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran into the bathroom. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they didn't know was that my bathroom door got stuck easily.
Yep.
And there was a trick to opening it. Sayaka knew about that because I told her. But of course, the killer had no way of knowing. So instead, the killer forced the door open, took the kitchen knife, and stabbed Sayaka. But with what strength she had remaining, Sayaka left a dying message. To keep the killer from noticing, she wrote it on the wall behind her. And with that, all her strength was gone. With Sayaka dead, the killer quickly began destroying the evidence. First, they took off their shirt, which was covered in their victim's blood. Then they took the lint roller in my room and cleaned up the entire area. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, the killer headed to the trash room to destroy their bloody shirt. They tried to burn the shirt using the incinerator there, but the trash room was blocked off by an especially sturdy gate, preventing access to the incinerator. So they came up with a plan to use Hiro's crystal ball, which he'd left in the laundry room. The killer managed to throw the ball through the gap in the gate and hit the incinerator switch. For any normal person, that'd be an impossible throw, but the killer had the confidence to take a shot.
The killer must have wanted to try to clean off his shirt with the blood. That's why he went to the laundry room. So he saw the crystal ball there.
And that's because the killer was the ultimate baseball star. The crystal ball, thrown with absolute precision, hit the switch on the incinerator, which then quickly roared to life. Having destroyed the final piece of evidence, they left the area with, I imagine, a sigh of relief. But there was one thing they missed. Part of the shirt they'd thrown into the fire burnt away and fell out of the incinerator. The killer didn't notice this, and so left behind a piece of indisputable evidence. Isn't that right, Leon?
Yeah. In your face, Leon.
It would appear that Hiro simply forgot his crystal ball in the laundry room. You went there to try and wash the blood out of your shirt. And that's where you saw it, right? Seeing the ball? You thought of a way to take care of everything.
So, Leon, do you object to anything that's been said?
Do I object? Hell yes, I object! Of course I do! I object! I object! I object! I mean, all of this is just a bunch of stupid theories! You need evidence! Where's the evidence? Without evidence, it's all bullshit! It's bullshit and I refuse to acknowledge it!
Well then, I guess this is as good a time as any to present the evidence that proves you did it. Makoto, I believe you're in possession of that evidence?
I know it. I have the evidence. Your first full-time battle is about to begin. Would you like to hear more? Absolutely. By the way, don't look at this. This is spoilers. Sometimes during the question, you have to hear what they have to say, engage them, and head out. But basically, it's like a murder-themed. I have to match the beat. Rhythm. Buns. Press X to lock on to a public statement. Then destroy it with triangle. I can do this. No, don't show the final thing. Good luck. Have fun.
When the killer removed the screws from the doorknob, they didn't use anything from your room to do it. Instead, they must have used something that belonged to them.
Use something of their own to remove the screws.
I refuse to acknowledge you! You're stupid! Stupid, stupid, stupid! Stupid, 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 stupid!
Yeah, that doesn't convince you that you're freaking guilty. To show the indisputable evidence that Leon is the killer. I need to figure out. I'm sorry, Leon. You're screwed.
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! It wasn't me! Stupid! You lie! Stop talking! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! Stupid! You lie! Shut up! Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance! Where's your proof?
This should prove it.
Fucking broke your shit.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of tool the killer used to remove them.
Now you're just teasing him.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the toolkits we got each had one inside.
And that must be what he used. There aren't any other tools in it.
But the toolkit in my room had clearly never been used.
That's because the culprit didn't know it was your room. They thought they were in Sayaka's room.
Only the boys got toolkits, so the killer naturally assumed there wouldn't be one in there.
Okay, then whose toolkit did the killer use?
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
It had to be their very own toolkit.
Stupid, 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 stupid!
Leon, would you mind showing us your toolkit? If I'm right about this, then the screwdriver will show some evidence of being used.
Stupid, stupid, stupid!
Huh?
Oh, you're screwed.
And if you say you used it for something else, you'll have to explain exactly when, where, and why.
And let me say this right now. I lost it isn't an excuse at this point.
Stupid. Stupid.
Oh, he broke. He got broke.
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are finished here.
He lost his shit. His face is warped. Hey. 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 Best. Ooh, freaking lot of coins. I don't know how many coins, but...
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our vote? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't want to be punished for something so minor, right? Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice? Or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Here we go. Time to convict frickin' Leon. Now I have to do the voices again. Uh-oh, it looks like you got it right on the money. The Blackened, in this case, the one that killed Sayaka, was none other than Leon Kuwata.
Huh? Hey, hold on.
Hold on a second. Leon, did you really kill Sayaka?
But...
I don't believe it.
You son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch? What the hell is wrong with you?
I didn't have a choice.
It was kill to be killed.
So, that's why...
I killed her first.
None of you are any different!
One step and you will have been staying here. It was completely by chance that I would end up like this.
I was just... Unlucky. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey! Come on!
You expect me to just accept my death? Everything's become clear. The decision we made was right after all. When I think about that, honestly, I'd be better off if you would have been wrong. Because if what we came up with really is the truth, then the truth is that Sayaka was trying to frame me. But even if that's true, I can't say she was wrong. After all, the mastermind. It's all because of that video. Even I couldn't handle what I saw in there. If I was her and the video actually had something to do with me, I can't even imagine. Now that we're trapped in here, with no way out, they're probably waiting for me.
Why? Why?
I can't afford to be stuck in here. The one thing that was more important to her than anything else, her dreams, her friends. To see something like that happen to them in Sayaka.
I
did whatever it took to reach that dream. I mean it. Even some things that weren't so pleasant. And that's why Sayaka, for the friends that meant so much to her, that's why she betrayed me. So when she said,
no matter what happens, please always be there for me. I need you on my side.
damn. She was lying to me from the very beginning. She was using me. Is that why she talked to me in the first place? I guess I'll never know. Damn. Makoto, I feel for you. It's sad. You feel lonely. Because there's nothing I can do to ask her what she was thinking. When she did, that's that. Boy howdy, the entertainment industry must sure be terrifying, huh? I mean, to try to kill somebody just because of those relationships?
Ba-bum, ba-bum.
She seems so nice and lovely on the outside, but inside she was destined to descend into pure madness. What did you say?
Phew!
I understand, I really do. Yep. You're in utter despair thanks to Sayaka's betrayal, right? Compassion, intimacy, love, those stronger feelings. The stronger those feelings, the stronger the despair will when they collapse. Stop screwing with us. This is all your fault. Sayaka being forced to do something like that. All of it. Everything. It's all your fault. Suddenly in a frenzy, I lunged at Nakuma, but...
That's enough.
As angry as I was, Kyoko latched onto my arm without hesitation. Her grip was like iron, strong enough I was sure it would leave a bruise. You're weak then.
Calm down.
If you really want to make her enemies pay for what they've done, you need to let it go for now. Damn it!
Ba-bum,
Oh,
ba-bum.
that was a close one. I thought you were sure... Oh, that was a close one. I thought you were sure going to give me a good walloping. Just barely avoid punishment, you did.
Yes, indeed.
Now then, since you magnificently revealed the identity of the killer during the class off, the blackened Leon Kawada will receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution? Wait a second!
I didn't have a choice. I had to kill her.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just protecting myself in the heat of the moment. It was self-defense.
Is that okay?
How exactly was it in self-defense?
When
you forced your way into the bathroom, did you or did you not use your very own toolkit? After she shut herself in the bathroom, you went out of your way and head back to your room. Then you came all the way back, broke into the bathroom, and killed her. Am I wrong?
Do you understand?
You had any number of chances to stop what you were doing, but you chose not to. Is it not because you had the unclouded intent to commit murder?
So, that's why...
No, that's not... stop it. I've had enough of this.
Oh!
Oh, are you sure? You were closer to her than anyone, were you not? You killed your Professor Sayaka. Do you not understand? I can't say Leon is solely to blame. Of course, I don't plan on blaming Sayaka either, because the one we should blame is him.
Huh?
Say what? If it weren't for you, this would have never happened to Sayaka or Leon. We shouldn't be fighting each other. We should be fighting the ones who put us into this situation. The mastermind.
Unbelievable.
Oh, did I awaken your sense of justice?
Hey,
Well, it just so happens that there's nothing more unethical than an unwavering sense of justice. After all, it's people with that sort of mentality that perpetuate war all over the world. Is that the kind of justice that awakened within you? Just shut up. Okay, well, anyway, more important...
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
Let's hurry up and get to what everyone's been waiting for. Let's hurry up and get to whatever everyone's been waiting for. The punishment.
I'm begging you! Please, don't do this!
Hey, come on now!
No more begging. No more excuses. You must pay the penalty for breaking the rules. Society demands it.
Stop! Please!
Oh.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment!
For Leon Kawada, the ultimate baseball star.
No, 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 no!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
No!
The first ever punishment. There's gonna be more of this, guys. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there is gonna be more of this. If you're too... By the way, this is a gruesome thing, so don't... If you're too young to be watching this, don't be watching this, like... Because this is very... This is going to be disturbing. If you don't want to see, like... blood or death. Okay. So 1,000 blows. Ooh. Damn, he's getting hit by all sorts of balls. Going around in a circle. And everyone's just watching this. I don't know why. Ooh, shit. Well, he got drowned with baseballs. Makuma's reactions. Ooh. Shit. Wonder what his face looks like. I really don't want to know, actually, but it's probably messed up, like really fucked up. Like, it got like bashed in by a bunch of baseballs. What we saw, that was the true face of despair. I mean, if we can't call it that, what else can we call it?
Extreme!
Extreme, apparently. It's extreme. Man, my adrenaline is pumping right out of control. What's going on?
I can't take it.
You really have to keep doing it? I just can't take it.
Well?
Well, hey, if you don't like it, all you gotta do is swear to cut all ties with the outside world and accept living here forever. But that's only if every single one of you can get on board with that.
Damn you!
Fuck you! Why the fuck are you doing this to all... doing all this evil shit to us?
What the heck?
Evil? You make it sound like I'm some dark, awful secret society type of guy.
Say what?
In this case, an evil, dark, awful society type of bear?
Well...
So why are you playing why are you playing an upstanding young citizen like me through such a cruel ordeal?
Hey,
It seems like you're trying to use common sense to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. That's like trying to put a mile on a scale. I just don't think that's possible. Hey, I don't think what you're saying and what I'm saying quite fit together.
Shit.
You piece of shit. I don't know who you are, but I'm gonna pound your ass into the ground. You must really hate me to get you so angry, huh? But if you do that, you're barking way up the wrong tree. What happened because more than one of you decide what you want to get out of it, right? No matter how much time passes, you can't cut free of your regrets from the outside world. You're to blame. Of course, you can't cut free from the outside world, but you're trapped in this place, the same place. You're trapped here? Are you? I'm sure that one of you learned all the mysteries of this school. Your thinking will change. Well, I'm sure that once you learn all the mysteries of the school, your thinking will change for sure. You'll think, boy, isn't it so wonderful we all get to live here forever.
What does this mean?
What are you trying to say?
Hey.
I feel like there's some deeper meaning hidden in there. Just like before.
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
What everyone's waiting for. Okay.
Hey.
When you say everyone, who exactly are you referring to? Sorry, I said everything I gotta say. I need to save some of that fun for later. Ah, crap. My phone. Hold on, guys. Okay. Nobody knew. Okay. And just like that, he was gone. He left us there overwhelmed by a nightmare turned reality. Damn. Even after he was gone, we stood there forever, unable to move. Actually, no, it wasn't that long, I think. Everyone just lost their sense of time. We were all too scared. Scared of being alone. No one even tried to speak. Their faces were stone, their voices dead. But was in that moment.
Just a second.
Makoto, can I talk to you for a second? She moved in close and whispered into my ear.
Makoto.
Before we head back, there's something I want to talk to you about. It's about Sayaka, isn't it? I'm surprised you figured it out.
Listen.
I told you before the class trial started. You had to figure out the mystery of this case yourself. You wanted me to realize how Sayaka betrayed me by myself, didn't you? The thought never even crossed my mind. I feel like such a fool, becoming such an easy target like that.
It's true.
Sayaka meant to double-cross you. That's a fact you can never change. But even to the very end, she wasn't sure of her decision. That's why, as she lay dying, she was thinking of you. She was thinking of me? You can't just say something like that. I mean, there's no way you can know that. Only Sayaka would know for sure. and we can't ask her that now.
However,
even if you can't ask her, you can interfere, you can infer it, don't you think? Her final thought was how she could protect you. What?
so...
The fact that she used her last ounce of energy to leave her dying message proves it. If she didn't care what happened to you, she never would have left that message. Or maybe she just wanted to get back at the person who had killed her.
Certainly.
That's certainly one possibility. But I don't think that's what it was.
Anyway...
She was uncertain. She wasn't sure she could kill somebody or deceive you, which is why her plan failed. Her hesitation attracted failure.
Right.
It's almost ironic when you think about it. Why are you telling me all this? Because you're the kind of person who can overcome this. Because you can move past the deaths of your friends, Sayaka and Leon, and keep moving forward.
Correct.
Without someone like that, the others would never be able to break free of such a desperate situation. Move past their deaths. I can never do that. Probably me neither, too, honestly. I mean, I don't know, so... I want to know, because if I was put in this situation, I don't know how I would act. No. I'm going to carry them with me for the rest of my life. How could I possibly move past something like that? Leon, Sayaka, I'll carry with me, forever. I'll carry their memories with me wherever I go. So instead of forgetting them, I'm choosing the hard road. Well, I have high expectations for you. As she said that, she revealed a small smile.
Hey.
By the way, I have to admit it, I'm curious. How did you know I wanted to talk to you about Sayaka? Oh well. I'm psychic.
What?
Just kidding. I just have pretty good intuition. Good joke, Makoto. But way too soon. I feel like. Chapter 1, to survive. Here we go, guys. 3 people died today. That's at least some... the spare bat. Present. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave it right here, actually, guys. I know what's... I know this is probably the worst time to be stopping it when it's getting good, but I wanna record something else or check out something else before I probably leave. So yeah, I'm gonna stop recording this gameplay. I'm gonna try to do more of this tomorrow. I'm probably going to do a longer gameplay of it tomorrow. At least something that, like, I don't know, I'll probably do more hours on it, I don't know. Because I need to get through this game quick, I feel like. So people get interested. Like, because there's the second, third, and fourth game. Like, there's 4 games to Danganronpa. The series isn't that popular. I mean, it's sort of popular, but there's only so many people, who are, like, fan base into this type of thing, so I just hope whoever watches this is interested in this, but was into my channel, So if you want to subscribe, it's Chaz Vader. That's CHAZZ and then space Vader. Here. So, yep. I'll see you all in the next episode. Or next part.